This is the voice of Turkey. 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 This is the voice of Turkey.
This is the Voice of Turkey's English language transmission, broadcasting from Ankara in the 31 meter band between 1830 and 1930 UTC on 9785 kHz to Europe. Between 2030 and 2130 UTC in the 31 meter band on 9620 kHz to South Asia and Australia. Between 2200 and 2300 UTC in the 31 meter band and on 9830 kHz to Europe, Eastern USA and Canada. And in the 19 meter band on 15520 kHz between 1930 and 2030 UTC to Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan. The Voice of Turkey is also beamed between 0300 and 0400 UTC in the 31 meter band and on 9515 kHz to Europe, the USA, Eastern Canada and Cuba. Between 0600 and 0700 UTC in the 49 meter band on 6165 kHz to Iraq, Syria, Jordan and the Arabian Peninsula. You can listen to us over the Turksat 3A and 4A satellites and on the internet at www.trt.net.tr through the Voice of Turkey link. Please note that transmissions broadcast between 2300 and 0000 UTC and between 0400 and 0500 UTC have been pre-recorded. Our email address is englishdesk@trt.net.tr. Following the news and the review of the Turkish press, the Voice of Turkey will present our feature programs and some music. But first, the headlines. Turkish and Ukrainian leaders on Monday pledged big steps to boost bilateral economic ties. As Turkey moved to defend itself after a deadly Assad regime attack on Turkish troops in northwestern Syria, 54 regime targets were hit. A Turkish opposition party leader on Tuesday urged the government to respond in force to a deadly attack on Turkish soldiers by the Assad regime. The U.S. on Monday voiced solidarity with Turkey after Syrian regime strikes martyred over half a dozen Turkish troops and injured several more. And now details of the news. Turkish and Ukrainian leaders on Monday pledged big steps to boost bilateral economic ties at a trade forum in Ukraine's capital Kiev. At the forum, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said trade between the two countries rose 10.2% last year and 4.8 billion, adding that the Turkish contracting sector has also signed 184 projects worth a total of $6.3 billion in Ukraine. Erdogan and his Ukrainian counterpart Vladimir Zelensky spoke about current and future cooperation in the trade, economic and investment sectors, stressing the goal to boost bilateral trade to $10 billion. Erdogan said Turkey is one of Ukraine's main health tourism destinations, saying last year 20,000 people traveled from Ukraine for treatment or procedures. He said that 1.55 million Ukrainian tourists traveled to Turkey after visa obligations were lifted, up 12% from the previous year. Erdogan also said they will work on developing partnership to strengthen strategic sectors such as the defense industry, technology, communication infrastructure, and telecommunications. Erdogan added that Turkish companies have significant investments in Ukraine, especially in communications, food, textiles, banking, and construction supplies. As Turkey moved to defend itself after a deadly Assad regime attack on Turkish troops in northwestern Syria, 54 regime targets were hit and 76 regime soldiers neutralized, said Turkey's defense minister on Monday. Akar made the remarks after meeting with top commanders in a quickly organized trip to Turkey's border with Syria in the wake of the Assad regime attack, which left 6 Turkish army personnel martyred and at least 7 wounded in the Syrian province of Idlib. The peace process for Syria, which started under the agreements drawn up in Sochi, Russia last year, and Astana, the former Kazakh capital, are still ongoing, Akar added. Ceasefires were announced within the agreements, but these were violated by the regime every time, and so the ceasefires never became lasting, he said. In this context, we continue our work and take additional measures to ensure the continuity of the ceasefires, to ensure the security of our troops, and to prevent migration and humanitarian drama in which people live in difficult terrain and climate conditions, Hulusi Akar said. A Turkish opposition party leader on Tuesday urged the government to respond in force to a deadly attack on Turkish soldiers by the Assad regime. For the scum who martyred our Turkish soldiers bring down the world around them, Meral Akşener, leader of Good Party, told her party's parliamentary group. Show the power of the Turkish nation and Turkish state, with the state will not be making any domestic policy calculations, Akşener said. Monday's Assad regime attacks in Idlib, northwestern Syria, near the area Turkey has carried out anti-terrorism operations, martyred 7 Turkish soldiers and 1 civilian. The news continues on the English language broadcast of the Voice of Turkey. The U.S. on Monday voiced solidarity with Turkey after Syrian regime strikes martyred over half a dozen Turkish troops and injured several more. We stand by our NATO ally Turkey against these actions, send condolences to the Turkish government on the deaths of their people, and fully support Turkey's justified self-defense actions in response, a State Department spokeswoman told Anadolu Agency on condition of anonymity. We are consulting with the Turkish government on this matter, she added. The death toll in China from the novel coronavirus outbreak climbed to 425, the country's National Health Commission said Tuesday. In a statement, the Commission said it has so far received a total of 20,438 confirmed cases, adding a total of 64 people died over the last 24 hours. More than 171,000 people are under medical observation, while the number of people discharged reached 632. A 44-year-old man died of the coronavirus in the Philippines, the first death confirmed outside China, according to the World Health Organization's local office on Sunday. The patient was a Chinese national from Wuhan City, where the virus was first detected. The NHC also announced the bodies of those who died due to the outbreak will be burned in crematorium areas near hospitals. And that was the news brought to you by the Voice of Turkey.